name is Amrijit Singh. I'm the son of Arjun Singh Chand, who my father took all this material and recorded it from 1904 up till 1961. I'm fortunate enough to have all this material, and with the help of some friends and scholars, we were able to take this material and write it in and put it into a book form, which we have done, and we have released this book.
मेरा नाम प्रकाश कौर ब्रार है। मैं अमरजीत ਨੂੰ एक किताब पब्लिश करने वास्ते इस करके किया सी क्योंकि बहुत देर तो ड्रीम देख रही सी कि मैं अपने फादर वास्ते कुछ कर सकां। सो इन्हों ने जो किताब है उन्होंने पूरा छपा के उस दे वास्ते इन्होंने एक आपदे वास्ते भी कुछ किया कि एक कम्यूनिटी वास्ते भी जो कुछ उन्होंने दिता है, इस बड़ी वड्डी चीज़ है कि इन्होंने अपने फादर ਨੂੰ एक तरह की इन्हों की एक श्रद्धांजलि सी।
I came to Canada in 1951. In streetcars, buses, not too much traffic, wooden sidewalks on Fraser Street, right? Yeah, it was like that. You had to walk from Fraser and Marine all the way down to Mitchell Island where we used to live. If you missed the school bus in the morning, you had to walk all the way to school, kind of thing. It's nowadays, kids say, our parents said they had to walk. So, well, yeah, we did have to walk in those days, but that was fun. It was good for us. High school, I went to John Oliver. First year, I went to David Thompson, and then after that, I went to John Oliver from grade 8 all the way up to grade 12.
Did you ever face any racism in high school?
Not really. Perhaps there was, but we never, thought of it as being racism. I started seeing racism more predominant when I went to India and I came back. When I came back from India, it was more prevalent then than it was before I went to India. Maybe there was less of us at that time, so it wasn't that bad. And then when I went to India and came back, Mr. Trudeau had opened the gates, and there was a lot of Punjabis, Indians had come to Canada, so maybe that had precipitated the problem of, more people saying, we don't like these people. I had to work in a sawmill for a few years due to the fact that my father had passed away. So just to make sure that my mom and I could make ends meet and everything, I went to school and worked in a sawmill. Before I could work in a sawmill, because I was underage, we had friends who were in the business of loading lumber into boxcars. So they would hire me when one of the people had to go to, was an interpreter at the airport for our Punjabi people. So any day that the plane came in with Punjabi people, he'd go to the airport, so he'd call me and say, come and help at the boxcars. We loaded boxcars with lumber. Yeah, I've learned how to work from a young age, so maybe that's why I'm a workaholic nowadays. Yes, although if you look through the scrapbooks, some of the history goes back to 1904. Now my dad was born in 1909, so you wonder how did he get all that. It was just that when he was here and they were from their house to the Gurdwara, they were walking, they came across this shed that somebody had, and in the shed there was all these old newspapers dating back to 1904, and he looked at them and he says, do you mind if I take them? The guy says, no problem. So he brought them all home, and he went through every newspaper, and anything that he found in it regarding Indian people, whether it was Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims, he cut it out and he pasted it into a scrapbook. So that's why he's got all this material dating back even before he was born. I've gone through it sometimes, but not with the interest. I just kind of look, and now recently, since we had this book published, and I've found people that are so interested in it, I thought maybe it's time I look through it too, to see, yes, what did my dad really do? I know I'm proud of my dad, but sometimes you wonder what is it that he really did. I like to go through it, and I like my kids to go through it too.